One of the iconic watches from Casio is their CA53 Calculator Watch series. However, there is one much needed feature that this model doesn't have: a backlight. Welcome back to Sam's Watch Review. Today we will review this calculator watch model DBC32. At a glance, it has a larger case and display, as well as more buttons on the left side. And not only does it have a backlight, this watch also features auto light. The design is unique, with a nostalgic retro look and a slanted keypad section. Now the dimensions. The case measures 50.4mm lug to lug, 37.4mm wide, and 12mm thick. Although quite large, it only weighs 34 grams. This watch uses a lithium CR2025 battery and has a 10-year battery life, which is great. However, there is no information about its water resistance rating. I cannot find any markings on the panel or backplate, and there is also no information about it on the website. So I guess this watch is not water resistant. Now about the materials. The case is resin, the crystal is resin glass with a curved or spherical face, and it's not scratch resistant. For the bands, they are polyurethane resin with a plastic buckle and resin keeper. There's no information about the material of the front buttons, but they feel like some kind of resin with slight flexibility, possibly polyurethane. The case looks well made, with the surface finishing being just okay, but there's no impression of extra strength. I think the engineers in Casio are doing their best to present a wearable watch by avoiding extra bulkiness. So let's not expect much for the case durability in tough situations like impacts and scratches. There are also no bezels to protect the crystal. The watch has 4 side buttons with the usual layout. On the top left is the adjust button, bottom left is the mode button, top right is the light button, and bottom right is the multi-function button for all clear, time format, and search. These buttons look very basic with some play to the fitting. However, they are easy to press with decent spring action. There's also no button guard, but looking at the button size, it would need much protection to avoid being pressed accidentally. On the front side, there are 16 buttons placed 4 by 4. They are shaped like typewriter keys and looks like a combined part of the button and panel. The buttons are quite small and a bit difficult to press with my fingertips, and it's easier with fingernails, although still not really easy. And with that, I also have a concern. Will this method, pushing the button with fingernails, damage the buttons? If any of you have experience with broken keypad of DBC32, please kindly share in the comments. Thanks. Another thing to add is that it has mute option. You can activate this feature by first getting to the calculator mode and then press and hold the search button. On the back side, it has a unique stainless steel backplate that's bent on one side, held to the case with 4 screws. It is engraved with the specifications, but as you can see here, it doesn't mention any water resistance. And then for the polyurethane resin bands, they are flexible and comfortable with a simple pattern. This is the buckle side with the resin keeper and plastic buckle, and here's the tail side. It is attached to the case with a 22mm spring bar, which is a bit rare for a Casio digital model. Now the display. The top part is a pixel display that will show the day in the timekeeping mode. On the right side of that is the indicator for auto light, 3-second light, and mute. Below that is the main display showing hour, minute, and second, and the bottom part shows the year, month, and date. Overall legibility is good, with less contrast in the perpendicular position, but more at the reading angle. There's also enough space to the edges so that the display is not covered by the case when seen at an angle. For low light operation, this model has an amber color LED light that is positioned at the bottom left. It has decent brightness, and we can set the length of the afterglow effect for 1.5 or 3 seconds. Here we can see that it effectively lights up in diagonal pattern. Also, this watch has auto light, which when active, you can turn on the light simply by tilting the watch. And here are the available modes: timekeeping, Telememo or Databank, calculator, alarm, stopwatch, and dwell time. Let's take a look one by one. For timekeeping, as usual, it shows the current time, and the display is so complete that it shows the year. In this mode, you can change the time format by pressing the bottom right button. One cool feature in this mode is that for the day of the week, it has 13 language options that you can select. And then the Telememo or Databank. There are 25 recording slots that you can use, which is slightly fewer than the other models that have 30 memories. Each record has space for 8 characters for the name and 15 digits for the number. This feature might feel outdated, but you can still use it to save contact info and so on. But please remember that it has no security or encryption, meaning that storing a PIN or password in this watch is not recommended. Next is the calculator. You can do basic math here: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. In this mode, the watch still shows the current time at the bottom left. This mode also has the currency exchange feature. You will need to first set the exchange rate, then you can use it to convert as needed. As usual, I will try to make a tutorial for the watch later on. Next is the alarm. This watch has 5 multifunctional alarms that you can set not only the time, but also the date and month. And for alarm number 1, it also has an option for snooze alarm. Apart from the 5 alarms, there is also an hourly signal or chime, which will make a beep sound every time the hour changes. Then the stopwatch with 1/100th of a second detail and split time feature. You can use it to start, stop, reset, or use split time with start, split with the adjust button, and then continue. Or if you want to use the split button again, and then stop using the search button and reset. As a note, in this mode, the current time is shown at the bottom left. The next one is dwell time. It is not as sophisticated as the world time, but still very usable if you need to use the watch for 2 different time zones. The interface or menu for operation and setting of the watch is relatively easy, except for the setting of Telememo, which takes some time, and the exchange calculator, and also some menu placements that are a little different, like the mute option or backlight length. This watch might look awkward, but it feels comfortable on my wrist. It is lightweight, relatively thin, and the case base has a curve. The resin bands are also flexible. However, it might have some overhangs on smaller wrists. While for the functionality, it is easily readable, although the calculator buttons are not the easiest to use. This model is currently sold for about $30 to $40, which is a good price for the feature and style. And now let's talk about the pros and cons. On the positive side, it has the nostalgic and retro design. It is easy to read, and it's also lightweight and comfortable to wear. The calculator function is handy for quick math, and the Telememo for phone numbers can be also utilized as a backup note. It has a lot of usable features such as 5 alarms and dual time zone functionality, and it's affordable. And here are the things to consider. It is not water resistant, so you better remove it before showering and so on. And then the calculator function may feel clunky to use due to the button size. It uses resin crystal, prone to scratches. It has less fit for smaller wrist size, and it has less memory capacity compared to the other models. In conclusion, the Casio DBC32 is a digital watch that can do more than just tell the time. It has a calculator, can store phone numbers, and offers features like 5 alarms and dual time. Its old school design and functions will be very attractive to digital watch users. And that's it for today's review. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for more watch reviews and tutorials. Thank you for watching and have a great day.